Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a more serious video, I guess. It's definitely different from what we're used to. But this has to be done. So I think I'm gonna stop playing Marvel Contest of Champions. Not I think, I have stopped playing Marvel Contest of Champions. I've deleted it from my phone because I'm not streaming it because I'm just not going to endorse what Kabam's doing at the moment. If they change up, if they sort of make more free-to-play content, then maybe I'll join back, if and when they do that. But yeah, at the moment, I can't support it. I can't support what the company's doing. I'm not a big YouTuber as well, so it doesn't make a massive impact, whatever. They wouldn't care, they don't even watch my videos. But I just think what they're doing is just wrong. In a sense, they're basically getting rid of the entire free to play player base slowly over time. You actually watch it over time, because I've been playing the game for like 7 years now, and you can see slowly over time they're just weaning out the free to play players and just trying their very best to keep the whales in, the pay to wins and whatnot, and all the modders and cheaters that they just refuse to get rid of apparently, and then. Like examples of this is the revive farming thing that you can only get like one run, and you won't get as many revives. You could get one run per day, if that. I think it's one run per day. Hopefully it is. If you are free to play, and that means it takes much longer to get content done, and you're much more likely to be tempted to spend money on the game so you can get content done quicker, which is very clever, but people are just going to get so bored of the monotony of grinding revives, just getting revives over and over again, that they'll just either stop playing the game or they'll start spending money, and it sucks. It really does suck. Again, it's really clever from a marketing perspective, in the sense that you're keeping your pay to win players, because they're just going to spend money anyway, so they'll just be able to do the new content, but it's not like you could deal with that, right? You can deal with it. People do arena. Arena's monotonous, but people still do it because you need the units in order to progress, essentially. So it's not necessarily just that. It's the fact that now, like, the amount of nodes and the length of the nodes are ridiculous. Oh my god! Like, the new content that's coming out, even certain event quests, are so champion specific. Again, just like if you get extremely lucky, or you're pay to win, or you whale out and you buy loads of crystals and whatever, and you get the brand new champions and whatever, then you're fine because you have the counters to all the different node combinations. But it's not the nodes individually that are annoying. I mean, some are, for example, the root nodes. But it's the combination. It would be like root and encroaching stun, and you're like, okay, who gets rid of that? Galen can't be stunned, and you can just get around the U by using a special attack. How many people have Galen now? It's like he didn't come out too long ago. He's still a relatively new champion, I guess. He's a featured champion at least. But like, you can't really do anything if you don't have the champions for it, and especially like in campaign sort of story mode content, right? And you get to like Act 7, Act 8, and you're just like more nodes and more nodes and more nodes and new bosses with root and new mechanics. You got new mechanics to deal with, to learn on the fly. You got new nodes, more nodes that it will just get more and more specific to champions, to the point where like you cannot do a quest without specific champions, otherwise you lose. Like you can't get to the end, and that's the problem, because these nodes are on an entire path, and there's like, even if there's just like 6 fights on the path, because there's 6 fights, the stats of the defenders are so stacked, you don't understand. It's ridiculous. Like 500,000 health pools like is the lower end of of the stats, and like what, 4,000 attack. It's mad. It is insane. It's just getting, the stats are just getting higher and higher. The amount of nodes are just getting higher and higher on each champion. All the nodes are so much more intricate, and like you gotta really read through it, because if you miss one bit and you go into the fight, you have to come out again. then you have to revive. You can't get revives because you can't do your revive farms. So it's this again. They've just sort of cordoned it off. They've sort of gone, this is where we're going to stop the free to play players. They can do event quest eventually, but they won't be able to do Thronebreaker anymore because of all the new nodes and new champions and new mechanics that are coming out. And they're going to slowly start adding the new nodes from campaign and story mode content into event quest content and side quest content, and it's just going to mess everything up. So that's just one thing. Like that's two things really, with the revives and with the nodes and story content, I guess, but that sort of ties in. So that's two things there. There's also Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is so bugged beyond belief. It's just so frustrating when you lose to like bullshit. Essentially, you just like your opponents will stay on 1% health when you have like 3 bleeds on them, maybe 4 bleeds or something, using Nick Fury or something, and they just won't die, and then you die, or you get kicked out of the Battlegrounds and you lose it, and you're on your final, you got to win 3 battles, and you're on your second one, you're like, I'm so close to winning this, I'm on the second round, I can win this, and then you just get kicked out, and you're like, well, I've got to do 2 more fights again. And it's just so frustrating. And it's bugs that should have been got rid of ages ago. I mean, I don't know, they released Battlegrounds with bugs in it. That should say everything, essentially. Like, it had bugs in it when it released. I don't know what were they doing on the beta. That was like all the content creators were like, dude, you still got bugs in the game mode, and it's still there. Incursions is still bugged beyond belief. Nobody does it anymore anyway because it's so boring. It's just I mean, that side quest last month, I think it was interesting. Okay, you sort of like with the danger store and all of that, and you could get some decent rewards. But it was still incursions. After a while, you just go, it's still incursions. I can't be bothered. I really can't. And it's just the fact that people just going to start losing interest in the game. I feel like the game is dying anyway, because that's what games do. But that's what the companies do. They realise their game is dying, and it's either due to like a server maintenance problem, or like an actual server problem, or just like something wrong with the base code of the game, or the game's just dying. Like there's no player base. But I think it's the second one, for Marvel Contest of Champions. But as soon as they realise it, they're like, okay, how can we get the most money out of this game before it dies? Well, the pay to win players, the whales, can keep playing because they're the ones spending the money. They're earning us the money, and the free to play players, the ones that aren't spending money, aren't gaining us anything. So we'll get rid of those. Which is stupid because they do gain something, because they buff up your community, and you've got more people playing, and it entices more people to get the game. But they clearly don't see it that way. So get rid of the free to play, keep the pay to win, and keep the modders, because the modders will eventually, because like whales can just out whale them. Essentially, they can, like, if you're a mega like whale, you spend so much money on the game, you can't really beat by modders. You've probably already got like rank 5, 6 stars, and the modders have a rank 1, 7 star, and it's like, well, they're still technically equal anyway. But it's just the more the game progresses, the longer you play the game, you just see how it's just money grab after money grab after money grab. It's just they raise the prices in the stores. They then get rid of revives, essentially. And there's less and less gold going around. I mean, I know they added more gold recently, but then there's less ISO now. So it's like, they've got rid of one problem and added another. And it's the same thing again with every single patch they do every single month. They're like, oh yeah, we fixed this bug, we got rid of this bug. None of it important. We've buffed this champion and nerfed this champion. Why? Because why not? All of the champions that were already annoying defenders, they just seem to buff them, and then all of the ones that were just, well, okay to fight, they nerfed them. And the annoying thing is, most of the good defenders are also good on offense, and if you're buffing them then you can just either face roll through content, like Magneto, which just makes it boring because you're just doing the same thing over and over again, using the same champion for everything. But also, you're constantly fighting those defenders in Alliance War, which just means you feel like shit because you lost all your battles and you cost your alliance like 4 deaths or something, right, or more. And not only that, but then you face them in content, in actual content where they have nodes. So now they're buffed, brand new buffed champions that now have brand new nodes that have about 4 nodes and stacked stats. It's like, what is going on? How am I supposed to progress at this pace? It's just the game's going way too fast. And the thing that really annoyed me as well, right, is that Sandman's coming out next month, or this month rather. He's already out this month. And Shocker as well. And people have been asking for Sandman since like the beginning of the game, essentially, along with Beta Ray Bill and the others, which Beta Ray Bill was the Summoner's Choice Champion choice thing. He was in the quiz, wasn't he? Or the ballot, or whatever you call it. But yeah, so Sandman's coming out. So they've basically gone, ignore that. Ignore all of the revive stuff. You can get revives over time. It'll be longer, way longer. It may take you a month before you can do one chapter, if one part of a chapter, in new story content. But ignore that. We've got Sandman coming out. You remember the character you guys asked for ages? Yeah, we've got him coming out now. And we got 7 stars. 7 stars. New hype. Another star level. Spend your money, guys. Spend your money. Wail out. Go bankrupt. Sell your house. Forget about your mortgage. It's just like... No, we can see what's going on. I mean, you know, there's so much hype about Sandman and 7 stars. Right, okay, but... then they're hoping that people forget that these problems are caused by Kabam themselves. And Kabam just don't want to fix it. They just start... I mean, communication is just another thing. But, like, communication with the player base. But the fact that we've had dexterity bugs, parry bugs, glitch bugs, bugs where they just kick you out the game, bugs where they kick you out the fight, bugs where you start the fight with half health when you... on full health, bugs where you lose items, like you have less items than you should do. Bugs where you don't gain items at the end, when you don't gain the rewards that you're supposed to get. And it's just like... And then Alliance War has even more bugs, and Battlegrounds has even more bugs, and Incursion is just insanely bugged. And it's just... All of these things, they're like, okay, we're struggling to fix them. They're like, we're fixing them, but it will take time. You've been fixing them for years. Nothing's changed. If anything, there's more bugs. And as I say, with each month, with each patch update, there's more bugs. And it's just like the Kabam just don't care anymore. They do. I don't know if they ever cared, to be honest, but they just really don't seem to care. And it just sucks, really, because the game's really good. And if they had a company that was sort of focused on fixing the problems in the game would be insane. There's so much to do. There's arena to do. You got event quest. You know, you got your story mode. You got incursions. You got all your side quests that are coming out every month. You got your rewards. You got your crystals. You got your relics, which nobody really cares for. But anyway, and then new champions coming out every month. It's a good game at its base. Like as a concept, it's just such a good game, and it's Marvel, so you will never run out of characters to use. If you run out of MCU characters, just go to the comics. You got millions, right? So, as a concept, the game is insanely good, but in practicality, with the way Kabam's acting, it's just like... It's almost like a dying game. The game isn't technically dying because it's still, like, earning, like, so much bank. It's insane. I think it's still, like, one of the top 3 mobile games or something like that. But anyway, it's earning loads of money, but it's just the fact that they're screwing over free-to-play players who are part of the community, and they're doing it on purpose, it seems, because why else would you get revive farming? Nobody... What was the excuses they were giving? They were like, it's too easy, you get to people getting too many revives. It's not easy at all. We need the revives. That's why we get. That's why we got the revives. Have you seen an Abyss run? Have you seen an Abyss run? Now imagine doing Abyss and Labyrinth with the amount of revives you'll be able to get. How long will it take you to save up that amount of revives and units without spending money? Doing Arena, month after month after month. It's just like, what are they expecting? I don't know what they were expecting us to do as players. Like, what do we do? You've cut off all our resources. You've basically prevented us from ranking up and leveling up champions because the cost of ranking up a 6-star is abysmal. It's so much. So you prevented us from ranking them up, leveling them up because we have no ISO. You've cut off revives and health potions, which are not very, very hard to find now. And you've basically just not done anything to Arena, so it's just the same thing over and over again. The chances of getting units from the Arena crystals are so low that, like, you're lucky to get anything. And even then, when you get gold, it's all spent anyway on ranking up 1 6-star, and it's like... And then your relics are even more expensive than 6 stars, I'm pretty sure. And they're just forcing people out. It really does seem they're just forcing people away from the game, which seems like a weird thing to do. It's not a normal thing to do for a gaming company to just go, Sodja, get rid of them, we don't want them anymore. But it seems like what they're doing. I mean, I don't know, unless they make some like good changes. Either they've added a new game mode where they just you can farm revives as well. If they were going to do that, you could have just kept the revive thing. Again, I don't understand the reason for getting rid of it, but because it wasn't broken at all. All the revives you farmed, you're likely to use. So the more you get, the better it is, because you can then do more content. You can actually achieve content. Like no one was cheating with it per se, except the modders, but that's their own fault because they're not getting rid of the modders. So they're just inviting more people to cheat. But anyway, and they'll just give themselves infinite resources anyway. But like the revives that you're getting, if you have some left over and you're still farming revives, they're not just you don't have infinite revives. You just have the amount that you have, and then when you've run out, you just farm again. That's the whole point of revive farming. That's the whole point of farming in games. You farm for resources. That's what resources are there for. You're supposed to get them. You're supposed to put work, time, effort into getting resources. That was the whole point. And it's like you've got rid of the Act 3 revive farm, and yeah, it was easy, but it was time consuming. And if you're doing Act 3 constantly, you're not doing anything else. So you're only doing Act 3 because you can't play multiple game modes at the same time. If you're in the actual quest, you can't then jump out and just leave that to farm. You can't do that. That's like this game doesn't have an auto farming system, right? Where you can just like go and do Arena and that's still farming your revives there. It doesn't have that. So if you're just sitting there all day grinding revives in Act 3, that is so much time and effort. And you're not doing anything else. You're not accomplishing anything else in the game. You're just getting revives. Then what's the problem with that? People want to put time into the game. They can. They don't have to put money. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the game being free on the App Store and the Play Store. Is that you don't have to spend money. And they might as well make it a paid game, to be fair. But there's going to be new like whale gates, and there's going to be 7-star restrictions and stuff that are coming. And you can see it because history repeats itself. They did it with Act 6, and everybody hated Act 6 when it came out. And they didn't change it for ages, and then they've changed it, and now Act 8 is out. Like, it's just appalling. It's terrible. I'm not saying I'd do a better job, but, like, what they're doing is just not it. It's just not promoting the game in any way. It's not helping anyone. It's not making the game more fun, if anything. And it's just... It sucks. It sucks. And I want to be excited. Like, I was really excited to get 7-star. I would probably have enough shards for a 7-star. I think I had like 10, maybe 12,000 7-star shards. And I was kind of excited because I was like, who's the first 7-star going to be? And then I was like, am I really excited? because the amount of gold and ISO it's going to take to level up a 7-star, let alone rank them up, and the amount of work it will take to grind those resources. Where are you going to get 7-star materials from? To like rank them up, and it's just, and then the amount of gold that will take, and then you got to level them up again to like level 25 or whatever, and it's the hype for getting new champions is just instantly negated by the amount of gold and ISO it takes to level them up and rank them up, and the amount of materials as well, like the catalysts and just where to find them, where to get them, and it's just it's just I'm burnt out of that. That's it for me at the moment. I don't know if I'm going through my season era. Just I leave it for a while and then I come back. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll come back at a later date to it. But like they have to make some good changes. They have to like improve on what they're doing now. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point me joining back because I don't have the time. It's a massive waste of time. I'm not grinding revives when I've got uni stuff to do and I have a life. Would you believe I have a life? So yeah, that's the end of MCOC for me at the moment, which is a shame. And then it got me thinking, what am I going to do with the channel? Because I have 195 subscribers now. Thank you for that, by the way. But I have 195 subscribers now. The majority, I would assume, would come from the MCOC content. It'd be nice if they came from me, but no. All jokes aside, majority came for MCOC content, so they're just probably going to go on to someone else that's streaming MCOC, which I don't have a massive problem with. But what am I going to do on the channel instead? Now, this is where we get to like the second part of the video, I guess, where like I'm starting to think what games are coming out, what stuff is coming out that we're gonna be able to play. No more Marvel stuff coming out that I'm interested in anyway. So what am I gonna do? And then I thought, well, I do like anime. I like all the Black Hero, My Hero Academia, Black Clover. What was the other one? Seven Deadly Sins. Ni no Kuni was a pretty fun game. I stopped playing that after a while though because it was like repeating patterns. And then what was the other one? I can't remember. Death Note, that was it. Which I've still yet to see, but I've seen clips from it and I've seen the trailers and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, and then I like anime games. I've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I've got Seven Deadly Sins. I will get Black Clover. I had MHA, The Strongest Hero. I've had these games and stuff, and I have really enjoyed them for the duration that I played them. So I was thinking not to make this channel exclusively anime, because all this channel's ever been is games that I enjoyed. Like, I play games that I enjoy. If you don't like the game, then go watch someone else who plays the games that you like, right? That's just the way it's always been. I've not been dictated by anything else. I enjoyed MCOC up to this point, and I'm not enjoying it anymore, so I've stopped it. And that's just the end of that. But so Black Clover Mobile should be coming out next month, I think. I mean, I've been waiting since the Black Clover console game. I forget the name of it, but it came out 2018. I've been waiting since then for like a mobile version of the game to come out, and then it was announced like last year or a couple of years ago or something that they were going to make one, and then the beta came out, like the closed beta came out last September, which I didn't get to play because I didn't have I'm on Apple, not on Android, so there was a whole load of stuff with that. But at least the beta should be coming out soon. And if there is no beta, the Korean version is coming out first, I think. So I'll just get the Korean version of the game whenever that comes out. So that will definitely be covered on the channel. I'm really looking forward to that game, by the way. It looks really cool. I haven't done any videos on it or anything because there's plenty of people out there like Rokage and Nagato as well that are just doing and Kaku as well. They're all doing Black Clover content. Bear with me. Oh, but yeah, okay. Black Clover Mobile, definitely going to be covered on the channel. I pre-ordered Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I would be playing that on the channel as well. I'll be doing videos on that. I'll be doing Black Clover mobile streams. You'll see dual links from time to time. Some dual link streams maybe. Casey Cup's out at the moment, so I might do one soon. So we've got stuff to do. We've got plenty of stuff to do. There's plenty of PlayStation games I can play that I'm sure I'll enjoy. I saw another, I think it was like something Nexus. I can't remember, but it was another anime game that looked really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to playing those games and doing that on the channel. But there won't be any MCOC for a while, which is a shame. End of an era, I guess. I mean, it's got me this far in the past 3 years, I suppose. But yeah, that's where the channel is heading now. So it's going to be mainly anime games, I would assume. And then I'll still play Overwatch on Twitch, so you can head over to Twitch and see the Overwatch gameplay. But that'll mainly be when I'm back at uni, because I'll have access to a TV then. When I'm at home, I don't have access to the TV because everybody else wants to use it. So yeah, we'll see how things go. I'll try and keep up to date with MCOC and see if they're making any changes for the better. And then I'll probably do a video saying I'm returning, or I'll just do a stream, an MCOC stream. Also, I just got bored of it because it was monotonous. It was event quest, arena, side quest, event quest, arena, side quest, event quest, arena, side quest. Wasn't really doing anything else, and it just got boring. So that's the end of that. So that's the end of MCOC. This is, and I've sort of said where I'm hoping the channel goes, and in that sort of direction of anime games and stuff, which will be fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you made it to the end, thank you very much for hearing my rant for like 30 minutes. But yeah, I just had to make a video on it to let you guys know what's going on. So yeah, that's that. If you like the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more Marvel Contest of Champions content. Not for Marvel Contest of Champions content, for more anime content. Here we go. We've got to change up the outro. See, I'm so used to doing that outro that it's just stuck. It's stuck in my head. But yeah, no, more gaming content, I suppose. Yeah, subscribe for more gaming content. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.